Look at what happened last night. WBY played a full 40 minutes, and in the final quarter looked fresher than half the Heat bench. That's right, 40 minutes. And the guy was dominating like he had just stepped onto the court. The final stat line: 27 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks, 1 steal, and just 3 turnovers. It looks like a line created in a laboratory. And look, he hit 10 of 23 shots, 43.5% shooting. It's not a number that explodes at first glance, but when you consider the volume of ball that went through his hands and the quality of shots he created, it makes perfect sense. Now, here's the insane part. His true shooting percentage hit 55.2%. Add to that 6 makes in 8 free throw attempts, and it's clear he capitalized on every scoring chance. His usage rate came close to 29%, the highest among Spurs starters, and yet just 3 turnovers the entire game. That's brutal efficiency. And if you're enjoying this deep dive, drop that like right now. I'll be posting this type of content every day, and your support makes all the difference. Really appreciate it. On the boards, he pulled down 18 rebounds. That's 16 defensive and 2 offensive. That represents more than a third of San Antonio's total rebound. The team grabbed 48 total, and Wemby alone secured over 33% of them. His individual rebounding percentage came in at 24.5%. The type of number you only see from absolute paint dominator. His defensive rebounding rate hit 30%. 30%. You know what that means? The Heat had practically no second-chance possession. Done. Wemby shut down the paint. Defensively, he was the anchor of everything. 5 blocks, more than any other player in the game. And it's not just for the highlights. His estimated block rate reached 10% of opponents' 2-point attempts while he was on the court. That's video game level. Literally. The Heat couldn't get anything easy near the rim when he was around. Their shooting percentage inside 10 feet plummeted whenever he contested. And his estimated defensive rating? 102. When a guy causes this much disruption and still avoids fouling out while playing 40 minutes, you know his timing and instincts are on another level. The Spurs won by 3 points in the minutes he was on the court, and that's despite several other starters having negative plus-minus. On offense, he wasn't just scoring, he was facilitating too. 6 assists, second on the team behind only Stephon Castle, who had 8. Wemby assisted on about 23% of San Antonio's buckets while he was playing. That's an elite rate for any front-court player, let alone a 7.4 center with the wingspan of a commercial aircraft. His passes from the high post and short roll left the Heat defense completely lost. The fact that he only committed 3 turnovers, despite all that ball handling and playmaking, relentless efficiency, 9% turnover rate. And considering how involved he was in every half-court set, that's ridiculous. His overall impact was reflected in his game score, estimated at 27.5. That level normally correlates with all NBA production, and he earned every bit of it. Responsible for more than a quarter of the Spurs' total points, 37% of rebounds, and nearly a quarter of assists. That's total domination in all major categories. And it wasn't just volume. The quality of impact mattered too. He didn't pad stats in garbage time or rack up numbers in meaningless possession. Everything he did had weight. His presence in the paint stopped the Heat from getting easy looks, and his ability to create offensively helped the Spurs survive cold stretches. What makes it even more absurd is how rare this stat line actually is. The 27 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks put him in very exclusive company. Only a handful of players in league history have hit those numbers more than once. Think names like Kevin Garnett, Anthony Davis, and Joel Embiid. Wemby just added his name to that short list. His rebounding contribution alone flipped the battle on the board. The Spurs won that fight, 48-39, and without him, that margin probably swings the other way. The defensive rebounds especially ensured the Heat had very few second chances. That's the type of silent impact that doesn't always show up in quick highlights, but changes games. And even with the long arms flying and constant rim contests, he stayed disciplined, avoided silly fouls, didn't fall into bad switch traps, and still found time to run the offense. That level of balance is hard to find in someone so young, especially when you add the pressure of an undefeated start to the season. This wasn't a hot shooting night or lucky bounce stat line. He had to work for every bucket, every rebound, every assist. His shot selection stayed steady even when the three ball wasn't falling. He focused on high-percentage looks inside, attacked the paint with energy, and moved the ball when he saw teammates with better shots. It's hard to overstate how complete this performance was from a statistical standpoint. He was the top scorer, top rebounder, top shot blocker, and nearly led the team in assists. And he did all of this playing every meaningful minute of the game. No extended rest, no coasting through quarters, just 40 straight minutes of impact on both ends. San Antonio walked away with a 107-101 win over the Heat, and Wemby's fingerprints were all over it, carrying the scoring load, anchoring the defense, setting up teammates with smart passes. He was at the heart of everything. But wait, because when you look at his complete season, things get even more insane. Wemby is scoring at a pace that puts him ahead of more than 97% of the league. He's averaging 31 points per game, and it's not just how many points he's racking up. It's the efficiency behind it that makes it completely absurd. Most high-volume scorers need a lot of shots to get there. He doesn't. His true shooting percentage is 67.4%, and that's not normal for a guy producing this type of output. Start with the raw shooting number. He's averaging 18.3 field goal attempts per game. From those, he's making an average of 10 two-point field goals and 1 three-pointer per game. So, out of 18 shots, 11 are going in, giving him an effective field goal percentage of 63%. That means he's producing more points per shot than most players even dream of getting. When you break it down, he's getting 1.3 points per field goal attempt. That's not just above average, that's elite. And it puts him ahead of 73% of players in the league in terms of how much value he's extracting from each possession. His two-point scoring is doing the heavy lifting here. 10 of his makes per game are coming from inside the arc, and that's where his size and skill are completely overwhelming opponents. It's not just dunks and layups. He's hitting mid-range shots, floaters, post-fade, all at a level that's extremely difficult to defend. Even when elite defenders contest the shot well, his release point is so high they might as well not be there. Now add in the free throws. He's getting to the line 10 times per game. That's a number reserved for the most aggressive, high-contact scorers. And he's not wasting those chances. Those free throws are a major reason why his points per scoring attempt stay so high. When you average 3 points every time you go for a shot or get fouled, you're essentially bending the defense to your will. What makes all of this even more ridiculous is the consistency. He's not doing this once or twice in blowouts or garbage time. This is happening night after night, against different defender, against different scheme, and under different game situations. Most players with this type of scoring average tend to live on volume. They'll put up 25 or even 30 shots a night. And the scoring numbers look impressive until you look at the efficiency. Wemby is doing it with just 18.3 field goal attempts per game. That tells you how precise his shot selection is. He's not wasting possessions. Every shot has purpose, and every trip down the floor has a chance to end with points. The balance between inside scoring, outside shooting, and free throw production is exactly what makes him so hard to guard. He's making 1 three-pointer per game, which keeps defenders honest. If you sag off, he'll pull it. If you close out hard, he'll pump and drive. And once he's near the rim, good luck. He finishes over people, through people, and around people. That kind of flexibility inside the arc is what allows him to make those 10 two-point field goals every night. And the quality of looks he creates for himself is a huge part of this. He's not living off assists or being spoon-fed by guard. Many of his points are self-created. That adds even more value to every make. When a player can consistently create his own shot and still hit at that level of accuracy, it opens up everything for the offense. Defenders can't afford to help off, and they're often forced to foul him just to slow him down. Wemby's scoring isn't just efficient, it's disruptive. teams are having to adjust their entire defense to account for him. That leads to breakdowns in other areas. Teammates are getting better looks because of the gravity he has when he's on the floor. Take the true shooting percentage again, 67.4%. That includes field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, all rolled into one efficiency measure. For someone averaging over 30 points a night, that's almost unheard of. Most high-usage players tend to see their efficiency drop the more shots they take. He's completely bucking that trend. Even if you isolate just his effective field goal percentage, 63%, you're still looking at elite territory. The league average for effective field goal percentage hovers in the low 50s. He's well above that. He's turning possessions into points at a rate that's more efficient than nearly 3/4 of the league. And he's not doing it in a system built entirely around his touches. He's playing within the flow of the offense, taking smart shots, and letting the game come to him. From a pure scoring standpoint, he's turned into a matchup nightmare. Too tall for wings and too quick for centers. That combination is why he's scoring more efficiently than over 74% of players in the league, while also outscoring 97% of them. The scary part is how sustainable all of this looks. He's not hitting crazy percentages from three that are bound to regress. He's not relying on some unsustainable shooting streak. The core of his scoring comes from inside the arc and from the line, two of the most reliable scoring areas in basketball. As long as he keeps getting to his spots and keeps drawing contact, these numbers can stay right where they are. And because of that, his scoring is becoming automatic. Not in a flashy, highlight-driven way, but in a steady, reliable, borderline, inevitable way. That's what makes it so hard to guard. You can send help, but he'll adjust. You can crowd him, but he'll draw the foul. You can play off, but he'll shoot over you. Every choice feels like the wrong one. When you combine volume, efficiency, and consistency, you end up with scoring that shifts the balance of a game. That's what Wemby is doing right now. He's putting up 31 points a night, doing it on fewer than 20 shots and forcing defenses to react to him on every possession. There's no gimmick here, no one-off performance inflating the average. This is steady, dominant scoring, backed up by numbers that don't need exaggeration. But wait, because his defense is even more absurd. Wemby's defense this season has been so dominant, it ranks ahead of 100% of players in the league. That's not a typo. That's just the statistical reality of what happens when a 7.4 human being with impeccable timing, elite awareness, and no off switch decides that the rim is closed for business. The advanced metric for mixed team defense, which tracks both individual disruption and overall team impact, puts him at 100%. That means there's no one better. Not one player in the league has had a more complete defensive impact than him. Start with the blocks. He's averaging 4.8 per game. That's not just leading the league. It's warping the way offenses even think about attacking the paint. 4.8 blocks every night is the type of number that sounds fake, until you realize he's doing it across multiple games against multiple schemes and making it look routine. And it's not just the number. It's how and when those blocks happen. He's swatting shots at the rim, on closeouts, on weak side rotations, and even off the dribble. He's covering every square inch of the paint like a one-man zone. But he's not just a help defender or rim protector who stands in the paint waiting to jump. He's also averaging 1.5 steals per game. That's a nightmare for any ball handler who thinks they can casually pass around or drive into Wemby's space. He uses his reach to disrupt passing lanes, his timing to poke the ball free from post players, and his footwork to stay with perimeter players long enough to force turnover. That combination of steals and blocks puts him in extremely rare company. Very few players ever average even 2 combined per game. He's sitting at over 6. That's defensive chaos. Now shift to the glass. He's pulling down 12 defensive rebounds per game. That's not just volume, that's control. Defensive rebounding ends possessions, and Wemby is ending them constantly. Every time a team misses, there's a good chance it's him pulling the ball down and flipping the court. That kind of consistency on the boards also means fewer second chances for opponents. And that's a huge factor in team defense. It keeps pressure off the rest of the team, allows faster transition play, and sets the tone physically. All of that individual impact is part of why the Spurs team defensive efficiency is sitting at 95.8 when he's on the floor. That's a metric that calculates how many points the other team scores per 100 possession. 95.8 is elite by any standard. In a league where scoring is higher than ever and three-point shooting is the norm, having a number under 100 is almost unheard of. That means opponents simply aren't scoring when he's on the court, no matter what style they're playing. And this isn't one-dimensional dominance. He's not hiding in one area of the floor or only thriving in certain matchups. His mixed team defense rating reflects the total impact. Guarding the pick and roll, closing out on shooters, switching onto wing, staying with guards on the perimeter, and anchoring the paint. Everything is elite. He's not just helping the defense, he is the defense. He's making ball handlers hesitate before driving. Bigs rethink going for second chance points. Shooters rush their shots just because they feel his presence nearby. That kind of psychological impact matters, even if it doesn't always show up in the box score. But in his case, it shows up constantly. 4.8 blocks and 1.5 steals per game isn't just production, it's domination.